Last time on Trials of Mana. Alright, so now that
It's winter.
big old vortex in the sky, not that one, the dark one.
You know, the big vortex in the sky, not that one.
Episode 41, Anise's Stockade. Alright, back with more Trials of Mana, taking on all these baby dragons as we continue in Anise's Stockade.
Kid dragon. Do we ever see adult dragon?
I think that's the Dragon Lord.
Oh.
Because, like, there's these dragon kids, these little guys. There's Flammy, which is a type of dragon.
Okay.
And then there's the Dragon
Because there's,
Lord.
like, Kid Dragon and then Kid Draconis.
Uh-huh. But they're all just recolors of the same little guy.
Yeah.
Frost Dragon. The works.
They just got run over by carriages.
And turned into selfishes. Kid Draco Zombie. Drazombie. Kid Drazombie. There we go. Just take them all out. Yeah. The music in this area actually goes through the final dungeon music in each of the campaigns.
Ooh.
So playing right now is Weird Counterpoint, which is played in Dragon's Maw. Then later on, we're going to listen to the music from like Mirage Palace.
Okay.
Some of the Benevodon boss battles. The Dark Majesty's Castle. All those good zingers. But what's nice is that Weird Counterpoint, we didn't hear at all in this playthrough. So this is the first time hearing it.
Yeah.
Because it was strictly in Duran and Angela's story. Alright, so on to the next area. Each time you go through a portal, you enter the next region.
Okay. So, I mean, it is, like, tedious, but you are kind of, like, grooving.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some grooving, but it's a lot of battles. Because, like, now we got
Gremlins.
Captain Duck, Gremlins,
Captain Duck.
and whatever this guy is floating above us. Oh, yay. He
That was
knows
like the-
Dispel Magic.
Coconut monster?
Shamanian.
Yeah.
Shamanian. Okay. A shaman onion.
The series that I was talking about, the Poppy Wars, it's, like, heavily based with shamanism.
Oh, that's cool.
So they, like, bring in the old gods, and the shamans house the old gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... I feel like you would really like it.
Did you read the whole trilogy?
Yes.
God. But we've only done like 5 chests out of 27.
Ooh.
Every time I looked at that, my heart sank because I'm just like, man, I thought we were almost done with this shit. Son of a bitch.
Evil Ninja, Dark Assassin.
Yeah, I feel like this is the Hawkeye region, if I were to guess. There we go.
Is there a Dark Ninja and Evil Assassin?
Maybe.
Why not? Let's toss them in there.
Yeah, all you gotta do is adjust the stats, and boing, there we go, new enemy. AI doesn't have to be that different.
Yeah. Get them, Evil Ninjas. Oh, just a regular assassin.
Yep, just a regular one. Still level 65, though. Yeah, they go down like all the rest. No worries here.
Captain Duck. I just love that you have, like, Evil Ninja, Dark Assassin, Captain Duck.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tone-breaking enemies in this game.
Yeah.
To where, like, it starts to get sinister and then quack!
Just this random-ass duck that's like, I am the captain now. Look at me. I am the captain.
It's just like, well, shit. Alrighty. But, gotta take down those crystals to take down the barriers. So yeah, it's not just a linear fashion. You don't just go defeat enemies and go in one direction. there is a little bit of traversal,
Okay.
and you gotta look for switches to disable barriers. Because, like, I figured that out when designing dungeons and RPGs. It's just like, how do I make this longer? Oh, just lock off some parts of the area. That's how you add some structure. So it's like, put a locked door here, hide a key there.
Yeah.
They gotta find the key to open the door. So it's a simple thing to do, but effective.
I think after trying to help a little bit with Parchment, with like the actual like foundation of the game,
Yeah.
I would get mad when like the recolors were there, but now that I'm drawing everything for a game, I'm like, how about we just change it just a smidgen so that I don't have to redraw a whole character.
See, I feel like that would be more effective in RPGs that aren't Parchment. Because Parchment only has one style and one, like, color.
Yeah.
So, like, are you really going to reuse the same monster?
Well, I think luckily we're using the drawings from Creature Collection for a lot of those monsters, incorporating. So we're, like, dual purposing
Yeah.
a lot
So
of the
I feel like
drawings,
that's a way.
yeah.
But for, like, future games, like, definitely if you want to, like, recolor something, I'm all for it. It's very standard in RPGs. I've done it in RPG Maker already with Fantasy Forever Revisions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. You just sent them to me
some of those recolors
with, like, the basic name. And I'm like, hey, when was this? And you're like, oh, no, that's these 3 enemies. And I'm like, okay, well, how was I supposed to know that? I'm trying to make a bestiary here.
Because you played the game.
I don't have a photographic memory.
But I made it, the man you love. Clearly that makes it all better.
Tell me 2 of the themes in the book I wrote so far.
Well, there's, oh god, what's her name? Zafendil?
Zafendule?
Zafendile? Yeah. Zafendile? And there's,
Zafendule is a full theme all by herself.
yeah, she's a theme all by herself. And we have the beach with the... Wow, why am I blanking? The otter things. No.
So
'cause she
what
stabs
are
it.
those three characters called? You should know this. It's a book written by the lady you love.
Whoopsies. What the fuck are those otter things called?
Dobarchu.
Dobarchus, of course. Yeah, there's the Dobarchus, and there's the serpent with the human face.
Yeah. I used to have nightmares about him.
Yeah,
So I
you
put it-
told
so
me.
I
I'm
put 'em
just
in a
like,
book.
ah, that's a little nightmare-inducing. And there's the bad guy. Starts with a B.
Barith.
Barith. Oh, Barith?
Barith.
Okay, Barith. Sounds like something you put on soup.
I'll take the chicken barith.
We have earned a rest.
All right, then.
Yeah.
I gotta pop together
I
more
don't-
chapters of that.
I don't quite know where I came up with some of the names. I genuinely don't. Like Katara. I started writing this story and her name was Katara way before
Avatar: The Last
Avatar
Airbender.
came out. And when her name was Katara, I was like, oh, it's an actual name.
Yeah. Well, I'm like that because, like, one of the RPGs I wrote way back, like, the girl's name was Liz. And, like, I don't know why I stuck with that name, but it was, like, a nickname that meant something stronger. But to tie it in, like, Liz is short for Elizabeth, but Liz is also, like, the Latin word for hope.
Okay.
And it ties into the story that it's about, like, this woman being, like, the last hope of a dying world. And I didn't even consider that when I first wrote it. It just kind of worked, and I'm just like, I'll take it!
Yes, destiny. See, whereas I was like, Harley go vroom vroom.
Two different mindsets here, people.
But when I first started writing this story a very, very long time ago, her name was originally Lydia.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I've changed character names.
Oh,
for a
yeah.
while.
They went through several names.
I usually just, like, stick to, like, one name. Like, sometimes I make them a little less ridiculous.
I think that's what I was trying to do is, like,
Because, like, there was a phase where I just, like, let's just mash a bunch of letters together. He'll sound like a philosophical wizard.
Yeah. Whereas, like, that's fine and dandy, but I don't like reading that kind of stuff. Where, like, I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Right.
Whereas, like, for Zifindule, that's a part of the joke in the book is no one says her name right.
Yes.
So, like, it doesn't really matter how you pronounce it because chances are it's wrong.
Yeah. Well, like, that was something I kind of, like, used as a strength in Fantasy Forever revisions was characters would pronounce different names right, but, like, they conveniently kind of, like, tie into their character or their background.
Yeah.
So, like, the king would constantly mispronounce, like, Megara's name as Megara. But I found it worked because it shows, like, his ignorance.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care. He only cares about, like, his kingdom and his rule. So, like, it would be in his character to mispronounce someone he thinks less of.
Yeah.
So, like, it worked that way because, like, I didn't consider it, but the actor, like, said it that way, and I just liked it. I felt it fit the character. So I stuck with it. Another one is, like, Arcalius. Like, the only one who pronounces his name right, Arcalius, is Drake, who is a full-blood draconist.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is just kind of like, I heard about this guy.
I'm spelling it out. Phonetics.
Because, like, that's very similar to Big Hero 6, how, like, the main character...
I've never actually seen Big Hero 6.
The main character's name is Hiro, Hiro. And one of the characters, Honey Lemon, she's Latina, so she says Hiro. She has a little bit of an accent. And I think it just fits her character.
Well, it sounds like all she does is roll the R.
Mm-hmm. But that little detail just makes
Yeah.
all the difference for the character.
It is the little details that really liven up a story.
I don't know. I enjoyed Big Hero 6. I know it has problems. Oh, God, it has problems. But I never felt like the characters were one of them. But I could also see how someone could see them as very one note. Like a superhero team. That's never been done before.
Everyone keeps trying to reinvent the wheel, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, listen, when it happens, it'll happen, but you didn't invent this. Like, it has been done before. Just roll with it, man.
I think that was one of the reasons why I liked Big Hero 6. It didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It
Yeah.
just tried to, like, bridge a, like, Japanese medium and a American medium.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a Marvel property.
Right.
But it has, like, manga origins.
Okay.
Which was like, yeah, it's a Disney movie, but it's also technically a Marvel movie.
Well.
Hence, like, the Stan Lee cameo.
I think we might need to plug in the electric blanket tonight.
Why, are you getting really chilly?
I just had a chill, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
don't, it might be different once I, like, curl up. in a
Beat
nice,
man.
Nice fluffy blanket.
It's a big old beat. Aye-hoo. Killer tofu.
Killer tofu.
Killer tofu.
It's the bees.
God. 90s music did not have to make, like, make-up bands with that good music.
Banging on a trash can.
Bumping on a street light. I like, I need more lounge you. That one's still my personal favorite.
I love that they incorporated yodeling.
That was the whole part of the episode.
Yeah.
From what I remember, is just like Mr. Bones was big on like yodeling.
Yeah.
We were just like, that's an old hat. But the beats were just like, oh, I think I could actually work with this.
Yeah.
I need more lounge yodeling.
I like Doug. I feel like Doug is underrated.
I'm surprised you haven't binged Doug yet.
I did.
Did you really? Wow, that was quick. Did it not run that long?
It didn't.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it again, though.
I remember
man.
Doug's first movie being a little underwhelming.
I don't know that I watched the movies.
There was only one. Like, they called it the first movie because they were guaranteed it was going to be a hit.
Oh.
And it wasn't.
Oh. I don't like what happens. Like, what's the point?
There's, like, a mystery of a lake monster, and then they discover the lake monster, but, like, they want to give it rights as a citizen of the town. And they want to, like, free the lake monster because, like, it's actually a good guy. And I was just like, okay. Huh. And again, like, that's just me scatterbrain gathering this movie because I've only seen it once. And I was just like, well, it's a Doug movie, all right.
I feel like one of the things that was the most appealing about Doug was that it didn't do that.
Okay.
Like, it was literally a group of kids being kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you had Doug, who was always writing in his journal, and, like, his alter ego, Quail Man. But, like...
He had a lot of alter egos. He had, like,
yeah.
Jack Bandit.
Oh, yeah. He would,
the
like,
James Bond
always
guy.
make up, you know, different characters.
He was very much a character in his head, which I can relate to.
Oh, yeah. Which, again, that was the thing, but he was still a normal kid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There was no, like, real monsters or...
Mm-hmm.
real monsters.
Yeah.
But it was just him being a kid. So the fact that they would, like, make a lake monster...
Yeah, but, like, the twist was, like, it was actually, like, a harmless creature. But it felt like E.T.
Yeah.
It was very much like, oh, gotta get this little guy back home.
Whereas, like...
And save him from, like, the nasty government.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, really? That's what you decided with, like, the movie?
Because it was like that with Hey Arnold. Like, what made Hey Arnold so incredibly charming was that it was kids being kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would have, like, fantasies and things like that, but at the end of the day, they were still kids that lived in the city that went home. Like, there was no monsters or, you know, things like that.
That's, I think the Hey Arnold movie is about them being, like, bought out by someone that wants to, like, renovate and put in, like, a shopping mall or something, from what I remember.
And it's the kids trying to save the city.
Yeah. And then we got the Jungle movie, which I was mixed on.
I was mixed on it, too,
There were
mainly
things
because,
I really
like...
liked and things I was just like, well, this is a little too late.
Yeah. Like, part of me wishes that they would have just left the parents alone.
Yeah, I kind of liked the mystery.
Yeah.
I kind of like just living with, like, the reality of just, like, sometimes you just don't get all the answers.
Not only
life
that, but
continues.
it's like sometimes kids are raised by their grandparents. Like that, it's the inclusion.
Because I don't remember, like, what the actual last episode of Hey Arnold is. Because I used to think it was, like, the parent episode, but apparently it wasn't.
No,
when
I
Grandpa tells the story.
I think that is the last episode because when
Oh,
he
is it?
opens the journal, there's the map,
Oh, okay.
and he goes, "Grandpa, there's a map."
Oh, wow.
And then that's
Okay.
like the start of the Hey Arnold movie.
The Jungle movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that shut me up.
I think that's the last episode. I'm pretty sure.
I do remember that bit at the end where he finds the map. I don't know. After seeing the Jungle movie, I feel like the ending's too pretty of a bow
Yeah.
for Hey Arnold to end on.
Yeah. Because, like, the whole point was that...
Like, Hey Arnold was
And-
one
and,
of those
like, a
shows that
dark-
wasn't afraid to have those dark undertones.
Yeah. Well, like, a dark and blunt moment is like, hey, sometimes life sucks.
Yeah.
So,
But we
and
keep
sometimes
trekking
life
on.
sucks for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, Helga's mom is a drunk. Her dad is, like, kind of abusive. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she's mean because of it. Arnold doesn't have parents. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Dino Spumoni is kind of a washed-up
Oh, yeah.
has-been who, like, lives in the glory days.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, even, like, the borders. The borders themselves, like, you have an immigrant that was displaced by war,
Yep.
Mr. Wynn. You have, like, the abusive couple. You know, you have kind of, like, the lonely guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, like, it feels way more real than, like, the perfect, pretty childhood movies and things that we were force-fed.
Yeah, that ending seems very, like, Disney,
Yeah.
but not Nickelodeon.
Hostile entities, be careful.
whereas I don't remember how the actual Hey Arnold movie ended. Because they wanted to do the Jungle movie, and executives were like,
Yeah.
nah.
They held off, and then they had different voice actors and different animation.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin.
Did the movie have the original voice actors? Because it was only
I
like
think so,
the
yeah.
following year.
Yeah, I think it did.
I think.
It's been a minute since I've watched the movie.
I remember parts of the movie, but I don't remember the whole thing. I think it was good. I don't remember anyone having really like any problems with it.
Yeah.
I think people
I
were
think it
just
was just a
disappointed that the
thing.
story kind of like went this way, when it
Yeah.
was setting up for that way. And now that you look into it, it's just like, well, studio interference was just
Of
like,
course.
nah.
Because that is the downfall of every good TV show.
Nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
It is unwise.
God, I wish Star Wars was like that.
I know, right? God, just let it die.
Because, like, we had this conversation about, like, my feelings with Zelda, and it's just like, well, they have their money, and they got your money, and I'm just like, yeah, but the sad thing is, eventually they won't, and that's the case with Star Wars. There was a time when, oh, something new of Star Wars, you got my money.
Yeah.
And now it's like, they don't.
But see, though, they don't have your money, but they have twice as many kids. Their money.
Yeah.
So it's, and the same thing's going to happen with Zelda. It's going to, like, you're going to grow out of where they're going with it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get your money, but there's 8 kids in your place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm just saying, like, there's a sadness to say goodbye to a franchise
yeah.
that you, like, love and get attached to so much.
Harry Potter.
Ah! Fair enough. And, like, it's trying to find, like, the appropriate end. Because with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, I can be like, well, I know where it ended for me.
Yeah.
I know where there was that farewell. With Zelda, I can't pinpoint that.
I don't know.
But, like, maybe it's just upon reflection, I could see, like, which one I would like, this is a nice end.
See, I don't know. Sometimes, like, you just don't get an end. It just stops.
Yeah. That's true, too. And that's not to say I completely dislike where they're going so far, to the degree that I dislike where Star Wars has been going. I'm just kind of like, I have some issues, and I hope they don't completely neglect the other stuff, but this has been vastly successful, so they very well could.
Yeah.
That being said, Nintendo is very pro at, like, oh, you're expecting us to go left? We'll go right.
Yeah.
And also, like, Nintendo has kind of, like, had this lesson before. Oh, the Wii. This was super successful. We'll just do it again with the Wii U. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they're
new
more of
Super
an
Mario
innovator.
Brothers. This was super successful. We'll make a sub-series of new Super Mario Brothers. After a while, it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're more of an innovator anyway. They're, like, much better at making something completely new than, like, redoing it, but just different enough.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think this takes us back to the beginning of the dungeon so that we can use the seeds and possibly even save our game and
Okay.
leave the area if we want. Stock up and do other things. Because later on, I'm just like, wait a minute. I got to unlock Class 4.
Get that gargoyle.
But see, it makes a bridge,
Yeah.
which takes us right back to the entrance. So this is where we started, because that's the magic pot.
Holy seeds.
Dragon Quest XI has an area like this, surprisingly towards the end of the game, where, like, it's long, but, like, as you make progress, it, like, shortcuts back to the entrance.
Okay.
So that you can frequently save
what
your
you need
game.
to do, yeah.
Or leave and restock if you're not ready for what's to come. Because Dragon Quest XI was like a very steady pace of just like, this is fun. I'm really building and learning these characters. And then like halfway through, they're like, and I'm like, ooh, okay, gotta start over. I'm getting strong. And then right at the final dungeon, they're like, and I'm like, ow, fuck. This wasn't a difficulty curve. This was a difficulty spike. Just jumped out of nowhere.
Someone's throwing up an.
Oh, we didn't have to draw attention to that.
It's not gonna. I don't think it's loud enough to come up in the audio.
Sure hope not.
Someone definitely just threw up downstairs.
Oh, jeez.
Make sure you put your slippers on tomorrow.
Remind me to put my slippers on in the morning. Because if you find that you're not asleep, you are awake and looking for a cat.
Probably won't have to look very far. It's more than likely Milo.
I want to know why cats never throw up in the daytime.
Oh, they do.
Cats will wait until you're in bed, almost asleep. And then somewhere in the house you'll hear...
It's not just cats. Wesker hacks in the middle of the night.
I know, but that's not how the Jeff Foxworthy bit goes. God bless my wife, she cleans it up because I try and I make the same noise the cat makes.
Yeah.
God, I try. Lord, I try.
Sometimes he doesn't even throw up. He's just dry
Yeah, he
heaving.
just gags.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nothing there. And then other times he just...
Oh my god, that time he projectile vomited through the steps.
I didn't see it, but I heard you
I
go, whoa!
wanted to die.
You were like, holy shit!
There was cat throw up everywhere. So gross. It was so funny.
Poor Milo.
So we have like the rungs on the steps going upstairs, and he like threw up through them.
Ugh.
So he was like elevated and threw up in the hallway through the stairs. It was disgusting. He made it into the living room.
Well, we'll see. Alright, so we're about halfway through the regions. We're going to cut this part here and continue. We have a couple more regions, and then we'll finally face the witch herself.
Woo!
So we're getting there.
Trucking along. All right. Toodles.